Okay, I'm here with my friend Selah, and
Hi.
for my final video presentation. So we're just gonna spend a little bit of time and tell you all about my country, Guyana. So, first, Selah has come up with just 3 questions that she had while she was going over my website, and here they are.
Okay. So one was I was looking at the flag, and I know a lot of times flags kind of have important meaning. So I was wondering if there's like anything significant about the Guyana flag.
Okay. So just some stuff that I looked up is I found out that it's called, like, the actual flag is called the Golden Arrow. And just the stuff that I found out is that their colors are, like, symbolic of certain things. So green is symbolic for agriculture and forests. White is for rivers and water. Gold is mineral wealth. And black is for endurance. And then red is for zeal and dynamism. And so just a few things that like came up in my mind is that, like, because Guyana is, it's called like the land of many waters, and so their water is like they get a huge source of water in their country, and so um, that's what came into my mind when I saw that, white. That's what the white in the flag like signified, and so I thought that was really cool. And then also black signifies for isn't symbolic for endurance, and the people of Guyana have gone through like a lot in their country, and they've had to endure a lot of things, and so I think that's significant of their country and just all the things that they've gone through. So.
Okay. Cool. Then another question that I kind of had was because it says that Guyana is in South America, but it says that the official language is English. So, like, is that the only language they speak, or like?
No, so like English is actually their official. It's like the official language. So that's mostly what everyone speaks. But there's actually a lot of different languages that they speak. Some stuff that I saw, some stuff that I know is that they speak Creole, as well as their second and third language is Portuguese. And so a lot of the, like, in their schools and stuff that they teach us second languages, they'll teach French and Chinese and Dutch and Spanish. So they kind of speak a little bit of everything. But I guess like in just like especially in their little part of in the part of their country, it's officially English. So.
Okay, cool. And then my other question was while I was looking through, it talked a little bit about about how it's kind of like a more poor country, I guess. And I was just looking, and I looked at the infant mortality and HIV/AIDS section, and I was just a little bit curious about that. Like, is that like a really big thing? I don't know.
Yeah. So that's definitely something that this country struggles with. I don't know if you see like. So basically, the infant mortality rate is like how many deaths that they have before these babies reach the age of 1, and then it's like per 1,000 births, like live births, and so for Guyana, their infant mortality rate right now is 35.59 deaths per 1,000. So that means that like 35 babies are dying before they reach the age of 1 per 1,000 babies. So it's not like the most amazing, but it's not as bad as they have been. So like throughout the years, they've been really, really high, like a lot higher than 35, and then other times they've gone really, really low. And so right now they're just kind of like in the middle. So there's still things that they could be doing to improve. I think one of the main reasons, though, that they're struggling so much is just because of, like, they're having difficulties with, like, sanitation and, like, stuff like that, just because the country is so poor and they're just having a hard time, like, dealing with that. And so that's what's, like, causing their rates of infants to die before them. So.
And do you I don't know if you know, but do you know how it compares to the U.S.? Like,
There's, I don't know. There's like a ton of different countries. Like they've actually, compared to a lot of countries, I think they're actually doing somewhat better than most. Cause like I know, can't remember what country it is, but their like HIV/AIDS is really high. Like I think they have one of like the highest like rates of like the worst ever. And so like comparing, like I don't know like the specifics or anything like that, but I think that Guyana is actually doing fairly well. Um, so yeah, that's kind of all I know. But yeah. Anyway, okay. So I'm just gonna go through and kind of tell you everything that I know about my country.
Okay.
So a huge thing is this thing that is called the 8 Millennium Development Goals. So basically what that is a lot of different countries, like 100 or so different countries got together and they decided to like set goals and things that they can reach in order to like improve their countries. So what they did is they just set 8 goals, which are let me see right here. The different 8 goals is to eradicate extreme poverty and hunger, and then achieve universal primary education, promote gender equality and empower women, reduce child mortality, improve maternal health, combat HIV/AIDS, malaria, and other diseases, ensure environmental sustainability, and global partnership for development. So they made like these 8 goals, but then like within them, each country decided to like set little goals and like make a little plan of how they can actually achieve it. And so, and they set all of these goals to be able to reach by 2015. So that's kind of like that's what the goals mean and stuff. And like all these countries are the people that developed them because they wanted to improve their country and see what they could do to just better, like not just better their futures for themselves, but also for their like future generations and everything like that. So like how my country is doing on every single one of them is the first one is to eradicate poverty and world hunger. So my country is actually doing pretty well in this. They reduced the proportion of people living in poverty by half, which is like a ton of people. So they're doing really good, and they're like almost on their way of reaching their ultimate target goal of what they set. And so they're doing really good in that. And let me see. The other one was to get primary universal care. And Guyana is actually doing really good in this one as well. I think that, like, I don't know, I think the hardest thing is just to, like, keep a positive attitude about it, because it's, like, you know, a lot of the kids just, like, end up getting tired of being in school. A lot of the times we get like that, too, where we just don't want to be in school anymore. But I think, like, the best thing that's going to get them to, like, reach their target goal is to make sure that they're, like, keeping a positive attitude about it and being optimistic about it. And then I think that will show through with the students, and they'll want to, like, keep going to school and stuff. But they're actually doing fairly well in this, in that goal as well that they set for themselves. And then, for promoting gender equality in Guyana, they've done well. They're actually starting to get more like women figures, like authority figures into Guyana, so that people can actually see that, you know, like women aren't just property, and that the men, like they can be equal to the men as well. Something that they've done to like make sure that that's priority is to make sure that they're like helping teenage mothers, and like, I don't know, making sure that the women can vote and that they actually like have a role in society. So that's cool. And then, let's see, number 4 is to reduce child mortality. And like I said, like they're not doing the best, but they've been in a lot worse situations, and other people have actually been in a lot worse than they have. But this one's actually kind of cool because they have actually already met the target that they set for this particular goal. So they're doing really, really good in reducing the child mortality rate. So they're doing good in that one. And for number 5, it's to improve maternal health. And so it's been like declining a lot. So that's really good for their country. They have a really, really high potential of reaching their target for this one. I think their priority right now is just to make sure that they're getting like good, like adequate trained people to like come in and like help them. That way they can stop like any difficulties from coming or any diseases for their children, and they're like gaining more knowledge of how to help their children and stuff. So that's good. And then for number 6, let me see. So it's about like HIV and AIDS and stuff like that. And basically they're doing really good, except like they just still need to find ways to prevent it from happening in the first place, because it's hard to like get rid of diseases when they're like so limited and they don't have like a lot going for them. And so their biggest thing is going to be having to like stop it like from happening before it just like eats away at their entire country. So that's probably one that they're struggling with a little bit more. And then in the environment, like environmental sustainability, they're doing good with it. Like they're working hard to make sure that everyone has shelter and that everyone has, you know, the right amount of things that they need in order to survive in their country. And then for number 8 is like global partnership. And so this one's a little bit hard too, because it's hard to like get help from other outside sources when there's like not much that you can do, or like not much that you can like contribute back to other people. And so that's something that they're struggling with. They were just able to like advertise to other countries that they need help and stuff, and that would be a lot better for them. So that's kind of how my country's doing on their goals right now. I don't know. I just think that like all of them are super important, and there's not really one thing that they can live without. Like each one of these goals, if they were able to like reach their goal, and some of that they already have reached, that they'll be able to like get further, and then that'll only help like improve their country even more. And so I think that all of them are definitely really, really important. They're needed in them. I think what's needed in Guyana, though, in order to really improve the most, is to find ways to like because every country has its like strengths and weaknesses, and so I think if they were to find like figure out what their strengths are, and like I don't know, find everything that they do have and be able to use it to like the best of their ability, then that would help them like improve a lot more. Like not trying to just feel sorry and just be like, oh, well, we don't have this and we don't have that and we don't have this, you know, and like comparing to other countries, but just seeing their country as a whole and seeing what they can do with what they do have and not with what they don't have. So I think that's what they need in their country that would help. But a way that they can improve, I think, is just getting everyone on the exact same page. So like gaining all the knowledge that they can about their country, and like figuring out effective ways that they can use the resources that they have and everything, and just making sure that everyone's being proactive in helping the country develop like to its fullest would help a lot. But other than that, like Guyana is doing really, really good with most everything. There's still a few things that they struggle with, but I think that their future seems pretty bright, and that like they've already reached really high goals and stuff, and so I don't know if there's really very much else that they can do. So other than that, though, yeah. But something that I've just learned about this country is just that like there's so much that like people don't know about. like I didn't know anything about Guyana at all, and so it was really cool, like just reading and researching all about it, and seeing how like they don't have to stay in the state that they're in, and that everybody can actually be putting in the effort from outside countries and be helping them, and so it's been really cool to learn all about it. So yeah,
Awesome.
that's it. Awesome. Thanks so much for listening.